This is Anitha, daughter of a daily wage labor. In 2017, she filed a petition in the Supreme Court of India challenging the imposition of the National Eligibility Cum Entrance Test (NEET) for medical admissions in the state. Anitha scored 1176 out of 200 marks in her Class 12 state board examinations, but scored just 86 marks out of 720 in NEET. Before NEET, medical seats were allotted based on students' 12th grade marks in Tamil Nadu. Anitha argued that being from a rural and economically weaker background, she couldn't afford coaching for NEET, but the court dismissed her plea and admissions that year were conducted based on NEET. A few days later, Anitha committed suicide. This led to a wave of student suicides in the state since 2017. 17-year-old Soundarya T took her own life, fearing she would fail the NEET exam. She scored 510 marks out of 600 in her class 12th exams and was considered a bright student at her school. Another young girl, Kanimozi, who was depressed about her exam performance, committed suicide. She was a bright student who scored 562 out of 600 in class 12th. As of last year, 26 students in Tamil Nadu died by suicide due to NEET stress since 2017. Political parties have opposed the implementation of NEET in the state. During her time in office, then Chief Minister Jayalalitha wrote multiple letters to the central government urging them not to implement NEET in Tamil Nadu. She fought multiple legal battles to stop the exam but lost them all. Then in 2021, the DMK launched a full-scale fight against NEET, organizing hunger strikes and protests across Tamil Nadu. Passed anti-NEET bills aimed at abolishing the exam and restore medical administration based on 12th marks. So, why is Tamil Nadu opposed to NEET and wants it removed entirely? In the 80s, Tamil Nadu used class 12 marks and conducted interviews for medical college admissions. Interviews carried more weight in the selection. Due to growing corruption and favoritism in the interview process, the state introduced the Tamil Nadu Professional Courses Entrance Examination to ensure fair admissions. This examination scores and class 12 marks were given equal weightage in the process. Then in 1989, it introduced the improvement examination system for students who want to retake exams to improve their marks. But this system favored wealthier students who could afford better resources, putting economically weaker students at a disadvantage. Resentment against the system started to grow among people and political parties. The Tamil Nadu government formed an expert committee led by Professor Ananda Krishnan, the chairman of Madras Institute of Development Studies and IIT Kanpur, to study the impacts of Tamil Nadu Professional Courses Entrance Examination. The committee concluded that the exam disadvantaged students from regional areas. Thereafter, the Tamil Nadu government abolished the exam. The committee said class 12 marks are sufficient merit for medical admissions, and the government agreed. This system continued for 2 decades. Then, in 2016, the Indian government introduced NEET as a compulsory entrance examination for medical admissions across India. The state opposed the single exam system but had to implement it following a Supreme Court order in 2017. The Medical Council of India proposed NEET in 2010. After multiple government delays in launching NEET, it became mandatory for all medical and dental admissions in India in 2016. The goal was to ensure quality students enter the medical field and eliminate the hassle of multiple entrance exams. But historically, in Tamil Nadu, the distribution of medical seats was influenced more by social structure than entrance exam results. Using 12th grade marks as admission criteria aimed to broaden access to medical seats for all communities, including Dalit, Adivasi and Bahujan groups. The state's reputed government schools with a strong curriculum were accessible to all these communities. For many, medical education became a path to uplift their families and communities. According to an RTI, 90% of students from these communities enrolled in government medical colleges. Over the last 20 to 30 years, this system has produced doctors who actively serve the rural population and help the state build one of the best medical care systems in the country. With one doctor for every 253 people, Tamil Nadu surpasses WHO norms and is on par with developed Scandinavian countries. But NEET is now harming this entire system. Once it became compulsory in 2017, it began pushing out students from marginalized communities. As the test follows the CBSE syllabus, Tamil Nadu government school students had to study extra topics and adjust to a different pattern. Since these schools teach in local languages and follow the state board syllabus, students had no choice but to join expensive coaching centers. The coaching industry in the state began to grow rapidly as a result and is now worth over 5,750 crores. Coaching fees ranges from 1 lakh to 5 lakh annually, making it unaffordable for many low-income families. Rural students are left to compete without support against well-prepared students from financially stable families. The impact of NEET is now becoming clearer. Before NEET, state board students made up 70% of medical admissions. Now that number has dropped to 47%, while CBSE students increased from 1 to 27%. The share of students from rural areas in medical seats averaged at 61.5% between 2010 and 2016. By 2021, this had fallen to 49.91%. Meanwhile, the share of students from high-income families increased after the introduction of NEET. According to data from Tamil Nadu government, only 2.1 students who passed NEET in 2019 did so without attending private coaching. Even in the state government colleges, the share of CBSE students rose from 0.13% in 2011 to 26.83% in 2021, while the share of state board students fell from 71.73% to 43.13%. Tamil medium students who secured an average of 20% seats between 2010 to 2016 saw their share fall to just 1.6%. High-income families took advantage of the option to attempt NEET multiple times. In 2019, 1,040 students cleared NEET on their first attempt, whereas 2,042 passed the exam after 2 or more attempts. Slowly, students from low-income families began dropping science as their hopes started to fade. To address this, the state government introduced a unique horizontal reservation system that goes beyond caste. In 2020, the AIADMK government in Tamil Nadu appointed a committee led by retired High Court Judge P. Kalayarasan to examine the impact of NEET on students from government schools. Its main task was to investigate the declining number of government school students in medical college admissions. The committee identified a cognitive gap between students from government and private schools due to socio-economic factors. It recommended a 10% horizontal reservation in medical admissions for students who studied in government schools from class 6 to 12. But the government decided to implement a 7.5% horizontal reservation in medical admissions for students from government schools.
The larger idea, Divya, is to help students who qualify NEET from government schools but they don't rank higher to be able to get admission in medical colleges across Tamil Nadu. For almost a decade, Tamil Nadu had abolished entrance exam system for medical admission, saying poor and rural children are not able to afford private coaching, and it's exactly in that context the government had earmarked the 7.5% in medical admission for government students.
Here's how this reservation works. Of the total medical seats in the state, 15% are reserved for All India quota, with the remaining seats allocated to the state quota. Within the state quota, 31% is allocated for open competition, 30% for backward class, 3.5% reserved for BCM, 20% for MBC, 18% for SC, and 1% for ST. Within each category, 7.5% seats are reserved for students from government schools. This reservation ensures that each category includes students from weaker sections. In the 2020 academic year, only 6 students from government schools were able to secure admissions. With the new reservation policy, 435 out of 5,567 undergraduate medical and dental seats in the state were reserved for government school students in the 2021 academic year. But this didn't end the fight against NEET. When the DMK came into power in 2021, it took the whole issue in a new direction. After Jayalalitha's death, the AIADMK's opposition to NEET lost steam, a shift experts attribute to its alliance with the BJP. This resulted in public anger against the party, especially among students and parents. Regional parties in the state opposed AIADMK's softened stance and continued to support the demand to scrap NEET. During the 2021 elections, the main opposition party, the DMK, criticized the AIADMK's position and maintained its opposition to NEET. It won the elections, and once in power, the DMK launched a full-scale fight. The DMK began organizing hunger strikes and protests across Tamil Nadu. Then, the Tamil Nadu government passed the anti-NEET bill, proposing medical admissions based on class 12 marks instead of NEET. The bill received the support of 230 out of 234 MLAs who voted in favor. Only the BJP MLAs opposed it and walked out of assembly. When the bill was sent to Tamil Nadu Governor R.N. Ravi, he did not give his approval. I will be the last man to give clearance, never ever. As education falls under concurrent list, the bill was forwarded to the president, who has rejected it. Besides, when DMK came into power, it announced it would use legal means to seek an exemption from NEET. The DMK filed multiple cases opposing NEET, including one against the governor for withholding assent to the bill, and is planning to file one against the president for rejecting it. The state is now planning to file more cases in the Supreme Court, arguing that NEET disadvantages students from rural backgrounds in Tamil Nadu. But the BJP has dismissed the DMK's actions as nothing but political drama. Tamil Nadu BJP President Annamalai released the DMK files, a set of documents alleging corruption and business dealings involving DMK leaders. In these documents, he claimed that the party supports NEET to enable leaders and their relatives who own private medical colleges to continue selling medical seats for crores. He also claims that if NEET becomes optional in the state, the DMK would gain full control over medical admissions. Its opposition to NEET is to just appear pro-people and pro-rural. But the DMK rejects all these claims, stating that it is fighting for students who cannot afford expensive coaching or costly medical courses. Ultimately, it is the students from poor families who suffer the most as their dreams slowly fade amid the challenges NEET presents.